Okay, everyone, thanks for coming. Thanks for having me. All right, we've got a lot to cover in 30 minutes. I've got 60 slides to go through. So, all right, there are 22 million wares of technology with the brain thoughts going.
No. Inspiration, Joe? That was an inspiration, no.
It's Sam Horn, the intrigue expert.
If we don't get their eyebrows up in 60 seconds, we're going to lose them at hello.
Yeah.
You want to know how to get their eyebrows up?
Yes, very much.
Okay, from now on, start with something they didn't expect. The eyebrows are already up, right?
Right.
Okay, say, I have found.
I have found.
If you love life.
If you love life.
Life will love you back.
Life will love you back.
I love this program.
I love this program.
And to help you love it back.
And to help you love it back.
We are not going to waste your time.
We are not going to waste your time.
On ideas that don't get you real world results.
You know, I really like this, Sam. Clearly, I have a lot to learn. Let's all learn more from Sam.
Welcome to the intersection, and I'm speaking with Sam Horn, intrigue expert at the Intrigue Agency. Did I get that right?
Now you got it right.
Welcome, Sam.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks for joining us. And we want to talk a little bit in two ways, because you're an expert in a lot of ways, but I want to focus on two. One is, as a speaker at many, many, many conferences, maybe we can talk about planning from the speaker's perspective.
Yes.
And then we'll kind of wrap up and talk a bit about it from the how to help planners cause more engagement at meetings.
Excellent.
So let's talk about the Intrigue Agency. First, tell us about the Intrigue.
We help our clients and our audiences crystallize concise and crisp and compelling communications that scale their influence and their income. You want just a quick example?
Sure.
We just recently had a chance to work with Dr. Joan Fallon, who's actually identified a treatment for autism. It's got such promising results from their trials that it's being fast-tracked by the FDA. So we worked with her on her TED Talk. There's a perfect example of someone who has a powerful message. How can she crystallize it so that it really gets the word out in a good way?
If you had a room full of speakers in here who were going to speak at a conference, what would you tell them? How do you help them get the audience engaged?
We need to disrupt our whole role as a speaker. We are no longer the only expert in the room. We have people who are very successful in the audience. Let's tap into their expertise. So I use what I call an app format, APP, Audience Participation Presentation. And it's 5 minutes for me, 5 minutes for you, 5 minutes for on-stage demonstration. So I'll get an example and a technique. People immediately have an opportunity to get together with their GC partner, and you know who their GC partner is?
No.
Geographically convenient.
Oh, next to you, sitting next to you.
So see, they're applying this in real time to a priority of theirs, so it's already relevant. Once again, instead of wah, they're thinking, you know, I can walk out of this session, and this one session was worth the whole conference because I've already connected with somebody, I've already contributed my expertise, I have control over my experience, you know, and I've already got something relevant that I can get real world results from.
And okay, now let's flip-flop, because we talked about speakers up front. We'll talk a little bit about planners and their challenge to get attendees up off their seats or interacting. I mean, do people interact the same way they used to at conventions?
If it's facilitated, it is. And there's a lovely word. Did you see Woody Allen's movie Midnight in Paris by any chance?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Do you know what that was? That was a scenius. Because see, when you have Ernest Hemingway and you have F. Scott Fitzgerald and you have Gertrude Stein, and they're all hanging out, it's a rising tide raising all boat creative community, isn't it?
Right.
They're all feeding off everyone's energy. That's what's called a scenius. It's half scene, half genius. I believe that as meeting planners, we have a responsibility to set up a scenius. And how we do that is we facilitate meaningful opportunities for people to hear what they're, hear it, and then immediately think, well, here's how I'd put that into practice with my team. Well, I'm not sure about how I do that. So we're learning from each other. But guess what? We're connecting with each other. We're contributing to each other. We're customizing our experience.
Right.
We're controlling our experience. And so that's a scenius, and I think we have a responsibility to do it.
Last thing, Sam, real quick, a little game, because I know we have some tips we're going to be showing, but I want to just read I'm going to read something and I need you to tell me finish the sentence, but less than a minute, you know?
Okay, 60 seconds.
So, context trumps content.
Don't start with why, start with where. Where, put me in the scene where you got the idea for the business. Put me in the scene, 30 seconds, an Olympic pentathlete. Put me in the scene where when she was training for the pentathlon, there were no coaches. She found a road by her house. She taped the flashlight to the side of the curb. She couldn't find anyone to train with her. She got a dog to train with her on the road at night. Do you see how she could talk all day about Olympic thinking? But I know where she started. I know where she started to care. Now I care too. That's context.
Yep. Okay, address no thanks first.
Good. 13-year-old Cassandra Lynn. I'm at BIF, Business Innovation Factory up in Providence, Rhode Island. Here's Tony Hsieh of Zappos right here in Las Vegas. You know, here's Alan Weber of Fast Company. She was the most impressive, and do you know why, Bill? She walked out, she stood there, she waited until it was quiet, and then she leaned out toward the group with this little twinkle in her eye, and she said, I know what you're thinking. What's a 13-year-old got to teach me about innovation? She said, we 13-year-olds know a thing or two. See, she had read the audience's mind. The audience is thinking, I'm running a billion-dollar business. What's this 13-year-old going to teach me, right? So she anticipated their objections and she neutralized him in 30 seconds. She won our respect because she anticipated a no thanks. She brought it up first, won us over.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you, thank you. And you can see the rest of Sam's tips at the intersection. Sam, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the intersection.